Good morning, everyone that's joining us. Right now we are at our fox enclosure with our two red foxes, River and Rumi, and Paul is going in to distribute their enrichment baskets, which we'll talk about a little bit more later with the person who actually made them for this year. As you guys know, if you've joined us before, the foxes can be pretty shy about coming out for a live stream. Good morning. We did just have them out for a brief second, so if you didn't get to see them, you should be able to go back and watch the start of the video and you'll see both River and Rumi. But we'll see if they come out. Paul was just sprinkling some treats inside of their little in-ground den to let them know that there's something good above ground. So we may see some heads pop up, but I'm going to stop talking for just a minute to see if we can make them a little more comfortable. All right, I think I'm gonna walk away and leave just Paul in here to see if maybe he can get some great photos of these guys if I leave. But we're gonna go join the intern who made this year's enrichment baskets, and she'll tell you guys a little bit more about what's in them. All right, so Juliana here is one of our interns currently, and she was tasked with an intern project related to the manufacturing of all of our spring baskets.
Welcome to Wolf Kitchen.
Yeah.
This is the best it's ever smelled, so that's awesome. So these are my beautiful baskets that I put so much work into.
Yeah, so what's in these guys?
So we got these little chew toys. We have eggs that we dyed that are so cute. Don't know why there's lines here. We have these little quail eggs too. Let me show you the orange and blue. So wolves can see yellow and blue colors, so that's why I chose to do just yellow and blue.
I love it.
It's not for us, it's for them. And then I made these little dog treat things made with peanut butter. We got some crushed up dog treats and some honey and water, and then we put it in a mold. And they're all different little molds. So yeah, and then we put some hay in here, and we shoved it with some more treats so they could be big bags.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's our Easter basket.
How long did it take you to make all of these?
Oh man, a couple hours at least, but I wasn't alone in doing this. So I had other interns help and other staff, so thank God that they're here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We all had a lot of fun doing it.
Yay! Well, just so all of you guys know, when you donate towards enrichment live stream events like this, your money is going towards helping us purchase all of the ingredients that we use to make things like Easter baskets, pumpkins, watermelons, whatever it is that we're doing. And no matter who you donate towards, every animal here will get a spring basket, even if they didn't get a sponsored donor. But you can always sponsor your favorite rescue, or you can sponsor any rescue or multiple rescues for any of our live stream events, but also for additional live stream or additional enrichment items throughout the year. So that's what it looks like, and that's kind of what the process of making these things looks like as well. It takes many hours of many people's time and labor, but all for the animals to rip it up in a matter of minutes. But that's our favorite part. So did the foxes come out for you, Paul?
A little bit, but no photos. They rather just waited until I left, and then now they're out enjoying their baskets.
All right, that sounds about right. Well, these guys won't let us down, will they? So we've got our singing dogs, Bowie and Reba, over here. So we're going to take their spring baskets in and tell you guys a little bit about them. And yeah. Hi. Yeah, we're going to throw you right on in there. Who are you? Yep, highest content wolf on the property. All right. So here we have Bowie, and his companion Reba is having a little nappy poo inside, or a kip, as one of our European interns would say. Hi, boop, boop. So for those that don't know, New Guinea singing dogs are a wild canine species from Papua New Guinea. They are one of the rarest and most ancient breeds or species of canines on the planet. Bowie and Reba here came from a rescue about 14 years ago, where they were part of a massive hoarding situation and being owned illegally and not getting the best of care. So they were confiscated by law enforcement and sent to sanctuaries and other caretakers across the country. Bowie and Reba are actually the last two living animals from that rescue of originally 88 singers. They are very ancient, or antique, if you will. These guys are going to turn 15 this year. So Bowie here is, riddled with old man lumps and bumps. He's got some special care needs as an old singer, but otherwise he's doing really, really well despite his age. These guys are not necessarily as excited about their enrichment as they once were, but they still have a fun time. And it's kind of nice because at least two of our animals won't rip up these baskets, and then we can recycle them instead of buying brand new ones next year. I'm gonna see if I can go see Reba. What you doing in there, girl? So you'll see these guys are living in a building, and we call this our geriatric building or our recovery building. Oh, sorry. And we mostly call it that because these guys are old and happen to live in here during the cold seasons. They do okay in colder weather, but we don't want to leave them outside at night when it's below freezing because of their age and joint issues. So they get locked inside here. These guys actually have some pretty serious allergies to a lot of straw and hay, so they get lots of blankets and beds. And then we've actually got a heater in here that we use to help keep them temperature controlled when it's cold at night, and even in the hot months of the summer, this concrete building helps keep them really cool. So, hi, are you not interested in that? No.
Not today.
Well, you're very cute. Yeah. Do you want a quail egg? Here, have it. Yeah, it's yummy. Do. Okay. Thanks, Reba. Thanks for playing. Did he get it?
He's like licking it, kind of. He's like, this is glue. I don't want that.
Yeah. Hi, buddy. All right, Bowie. Well, we'll leave you to it. And, oh, get it. Get after it. Go.
He's following the trail.
Yeah, get it. That's so good. All right, Matt, I'll check your messages and see what I got from you. Ugh. All right, well, we're going to move on to the next door neighbors here, Blizzard and Frisco. So this here is Frisco. A lot of people, if you don't already know, might be looking at her and her companion Blizzard and going, what are two dogs doing at a wolf sanctuary? But these guys are, in fact, wolf dogs. They're just incredibly, incredibly low content and off-standard breed mixes, which means that they are made using breeds of dogs that are not inherently Siberian Husky, Alaskan Malamute, or German Shepherd, though they do have a little bit of Malamute and Shepherd in them. They are predominantly Great Pyrenees and Border Collie mixes. Blizzard has about 11% Gray Wolf in his DNA, and Frisco has not been DNA tested yet, but she is a half sibling, and one of her siblings came back like 5%, and one of her siblings came back 12%. So she's somewhere in that range as well. Oh yeah, just don't let her grab that from you. Yeah, or just hold it up high until she gets hers. All right, so Frisco has to be separated from Blizzard, otherwise she will bully him and steal his basket, and that's not very sisterly of her. So we're gonna let her come into what we call our shift pen. So this is an area that is specifically for Frisco to enjoy her stuff, while Blizzard gets to enjoy his in the privacy of his own enclosure. Hi. So I think I mentioned here, Frisco and Blizzard are half siblings. They share a dad and their mother is different. We're actually going to see Blizzard's mom in just a minute here. And then Frisco's mom lives here on the back side of the enclosure, or on the back side of the property, along with her two brothers. These guys came from Indigo Mountain Nature Center, and they were originally at that sanctuary because after the moms gave birth to the puppies, they were brought to a shelter and surrendered and told that they were wolf dogs, which the shelter then confirmed, with DNA testing, I believe, and decided that, they didn't want the liability of adopting out wolf dogs. So even though they had almost no wolf content, they did not want to find them homes. And so they sent them to Indigo Mountain. Indigo Mountain did find homes for some of them, but not all. So for the last, 6 years, or the next 6 years of their life, they lived at Indigo. And then when we took over all of their rescues and brought them here to New Mexico, they came with, just like all of the rest of the more wolfy animals did. These guys are, of course, pretty social. Blizzard's a little bit more shy, and you can tell he's a little more anxious right now with a group of us here. But Frisco's really, really social. These guys can go for walks. They like people. Yep, you're gonna ruin it, huh? So even though we love them here and we're more than happy to have them at Wild Spirit, we are often asked if they would be eligible to be adopted. Certainly animals like Frisco, Stella, Tippy, they would make excellent pets. But of course, with having even a little bit of wolf DNA, you do have to take legality into consideration. Not everywhere is legal to own a wolf dog, even at a low percentage. And so we would be open to that if we found the right person and a legal, qualified, willing to test out a dog that's mostly living in an enclosure its whole life home. But they're also very welcome to be here with us. We don't care that they don't have a ton of wolf content. They needed us and we love them the same as we love our high contents and mid contents and other species. So if they're with us forever, that's fine. But of course, an animal like Frisco would do really well in a home, and it would open up a space here for an animal that maybe needs us a little bit more. So it's an interesting thing to have to balance. It has nothing to do with their content. It's just whether or not their best life is here with us. Lazy boy, get it. I don't know if he's gonna care, but yeah, let's try to move it maybe just like to the corner. Yeah, we'll give him a chance. A little shy guy. Get it, Busy. That's for you. Yeah, that's for you. You'll notice many of our animals still have a lot of their winter coat left. So we've got some real fluffy kiddos right now. Some are starting to shed. So then we've got some scraggly looking kids, but pretty soon here, we'll be blowing coats all over Wild Spirit. Matt, I already told you, you can just have her.
It's all yours.
Yeah. You just can't have Dorian, that's my kid. Yeah. Don't worry, he only wants Dorian and Cody. But wait till he meets other ones, then he's gonna think he could just have more animals, and then we're gonna have to fight. You gonna go get it, you brave boy? You can.
This is the moment.
Yeah, get it. Go get it before we let Frisco in. Yeah, we do. I was just looking at our on our list of people who donated to this live stream, and we've got Anita Talbot that donated 10 enrichments for any rescue. So thank you. You probably covered most of the people on our tour path, and we're very grateful for that. And then Sandy Romer donated for any rescue. Helen Beal for 3 any rescues. Alan, oh my gosh, Prisbilla for 2 any rescues. Jeffrey Kloick for any rescue. Jessica Dietrich, Lou Helen O'Sullivan, Robert Hurt did 2. Susie Zappia and Sandy Romer, they all did for any rescue. So thank you guys so much. We'll be doing shout outs for the people that did specific rescues on the tour path as well. And yeah, John, I mean, I think it's so important to cater to the needs of these animals and the sanctuary simultaneously. And obviously we're talking about extremely low and almost negligible wolf content. Not in a legal sense, of course. You still have to, follow the laws regardless of your opinion of, how much content makes a difference. But in terms of their behaviors and their capability of living in a home and thriving, I think that it would be folly of us not to consider them potentially capable candidates. Now, would Blizzard here be as easy as Frisco? Definitely not. Would Aspen be as easy as Stella? Definitely not. So there's some that maybe it wouldn't be the right move, but it really is a shame for an animal like that to be stuck living in a sanctuary where she sees people for a fraction of every day when she could absolutely, have a home and a family that loves her, and that we could do it the right way. I think that's really the key part for me, is that we're doing things like that. We're making decisions like that with integrity and based on what's right for the rescue and what's right for us, not, oh, she's not wolfy enough to be here, or, oh, she's got too much wolf to be a pet. It's a very gray sort of area, and that's why we kind of look at it on a case-by-case basis. But I think anyone that looks at that dog or meets that dog could probably, see the validity of maybe considering a home option for her. Blizzard, you're perfect. Yeah, this one, not so much. But I've thought about adding Blizzard to my already ginormous pack of dogs many times, but I have too many ultra confident personalities. I think they would bully him. He'd be the biggest in the household, but they would bully him. I love him so much. He's so silly. All right, Blizzard. Well, we'll leave you to it. I think we will have to shift Frisco back though, bud. So you got like 30 seconds because we gotta do Neo Jethro. I'm so sorry, buddy. Frisco, go get his basket. Yeah, go get it. Yeah, you're so cute. You're so cute, and your sad little allergies. What are you doing? Yeah, hi. You getting some crumbs? Some crummies?
Of course.
Can I touch this bone? Can I grab it? All right, come on.
Forgot to mention too, I put some scents and like other smelly good things on there, so they're probably sniffing around.
Yeah, like essential oil type
Essential oil,
sprays.
and some like herbs and stuff.
Come on, Frisco.
Yay!
If we want, we can throw the rest of. Well, you can keep the basket if you want to, but we could throw anything else over for her. All right, so we're going to be giving to Neo and Jethro, and thank you to Stephanie Marshall for donating for Neo's basket. Oh my goodness, my papers are flying all over the place. So Neo and Jethro here are two high-content wolf dogs. They are quite young. We rescued them when they were about 9 months old from a fur farm in Ohio that was being shut down after the death of its owner. We and many other rescues were given roughly 2 weeks to find placement for all of the animals and to get them out before the state was going to come in and just euthanize everything. There are a lot of reasons for that, but 2 weeks typically is not enough time to even coordinate a rescue for a handful of animals, let alone this volume, which was, I want to say, around 400. The numbers have changed a lot, but we were one of the first facilities to get inside the place and see what was going on so that we could help with networking. And thankfully, because we were working with Humane World, they offered financial assistance for anyone that was able to step up to take the animals if they needed it. And, Wild Spirit had just agreed to the intake of Indigo Mountains animals, so we were working on and expecting already 22 additional lives to come into our care. And so the only reason we were able to say yes to the number of fur farm animals we did is because of that financial support. In the end, they ended up paying for, of course, spays, neuters, vet care, but also enclosure builds, because we had no empty enclosures at the time that we took them. But knowing that we were going to have that financial assistance, we were able to say yes to 14 fur farm animals, and we got almost $100,000 in support to make that possible. It did require us to keep the animals in, small temporary enclosures for a while, but we were building nonstop all day, every day for these guys and the 22 animals from Indigo Mountain. And all said and done last year, Wild Spirit rescued nearly 50 animals in a single calendar year, which is like unheard of and was certainly a huge, huge move for us. But these guys are really incredible. Going from living in literal cages, tiny rabbit hut style cages with no solid floors, living on wire, having severe malnutrition issues, no vet care, abuse, negligence. These guys went through a lot, and you would expect them to basically have zero trust with people and zero love of people and nothing but fear or violence or hatred, and they don't. In fact, all 14 of our fur farm animals show us every single day how grateful they are to have a second chance at life and to have big enclosures and companionship and good nutrition and enrichment. Like, they didn't have any enrichment, and they are just so enamored with every aspect of their lives. They're just really excited about everything, and I marvel every single day. It's been over a year since we took them in. I marvel every day about how willing they are to trust us. They don't necessarily come up for pets, but they do come up for maybe chin scritches or sniffs or maybe a little scritch through the fence for some of them. They'll definitely come up for treats, most of them. And because a lot of them, they've only been here a year, some of them were barely a year old or younger when we got them, I think that they have a lot of opportunity to show us relationship building as they continue to settle in. And Neo and Jethro here are two of my favorites. I tell them every day when I pass them by that I'm obsessed with them and I wish I could take them home. Not home to like be in my house, but home to like just watch them be cute all day. These guys are siblings, and we've got two of their other sisters here on site as well. They're currently not on the tour path, but they're equally wonderful. And hi, my brother just joined the live stream. That's great. Hi, bud. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, these guys are, as I mentioned, high content wolf dogs. So we have not DNA tested all of them. We've actually DNA tested both of their other sisters. One came back, I want to say like 86% wolf, and the other was slightly different. So we expect that we would see similarities between these guys as well. They certainly phenotype like high contents, except when Jethro opens his mouth and starts barking at me. It is his most dog-like characteristic. Wolves are not supposed to be able to bark like that, nor are high contents, but he's got a special skill, so I'll take it, I guess. Hi, cutie. You're so perfect. Love you. Yeah. I don't think these guys have met an enrichment item that they haven't enjoyed yet. They're down for everything.
Such gratitude.
Yes.
Did you catch Jethro?
No, what do you do?
He full throttle just said rubbed on that back.
So cute.
You're so good. So these guys look very, very similar. So the easiest way to tell them apart is that Jethro is slightly larger. So wolves and wolf dogs do experience something called sexual dimorphism, which is where there's a difference visually between males and females. That does not always mean that a male is always larger than a female for every species. In fact, some species, the females are larger. But for wolves, it is typical to have a larger male than female. And we definitely see that with him. And she also has a little bit more of a mousy face. So if you think about like an animated wolf, usually they make the males with like a big bulbous nose and the females have a little pointy slender nose. He's not bulbous, but she definitely has that more feminine, animated style to her. So you can kind of use that to tell them apart as well. Don't start barking at me, please. It's embarrassing. I know he did. He did a huff. You're perfect. All right, well, I could stay and stare at these guys all stinking day. I really could, but I don't think Cody Yodi has come out yet. So I was mentioning earlier for those that just joined that we just put Cody the Coyote on the tour path. She was just spayed yesterday, and so after she got back home, we did a little relocation to this frontline enclosure. However, she is hiding or was hiding in her cave house, so I'm not sure if we're gonna see her. We can still go put her basket in there for her, and maybe she'll come out when we go away. But we're hoping that she's gonna want want to be on the tour path because we've never had a coyote that I know of directly on the tour path itself, like down here. But Cody is an animal who, she was literally dumped on our doorstep. A family in our local community had taken her in as a eyes still closed puppy. They kept her as a pet for 4 years. And then one day I left work and she was sitting there in a plastic dog crate with a little note that said, "Hi, my name is Cody," gave us a little bit about her story and asked us to take care of her. And we did. Because she was raised by people, she is really, 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 really social. So we were hoping that we would have, you know, an animal that was comfortable being on the tour path and being around groups. And maybe she is. She might just be stressed out after her spay. And of course, that's understandable. But we will be assessing whether or not this is the right fit for her over the next few days or weeks. And if not, she'll get to go back on the tour path and we'll figure out someone else to move down here. But yeah, we'll just go put her basket in and I'll stay on the outside and see if she wants to come out. And yeah, and then we'll move on to the front line. We're sending in a pro.
Yep.
A favorite of Cody Yodi.
A sacrifice, really.
Yeah, a sacrifice.
You will be remembered.
Wait, she's in the corner.
Oh, I see her.
Oh, she's out. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I didn't see her in her cave earlier. Cody, oh my gosh.
She's just been there.
I don't think that I can zoom in on a live. This is so silly. Oh yeah, I can. Look at that. All right, so there's Cody Coyote. She's famous on the internet. She makes some really fun noises, especially during breeding season. She does something called a territorial threat display, where she opens her mouth really wide, shows all of her teeth, and does sort of a noise. And that went absolutely viral on the internet. People loved it. They thought it was so funny. A lot of people thought she had rabies, which she certainly does not. But yeah, you can see she's looking a little bit worse for wear after her surgery. Her belly's all shaved and naked. But there's your girl, Matt. Go get that basket. Good morning, everyone that's joined us. Hi, Jasmine. I love seeing so many familiar faces on this live stream. This is amazing. Get it, Cody. I'm so glad she's out, though. Oh, you poor honey. Yeah, girl. Yeah. So a lot of people might be wondering, you know, she just had a spay. Why isn't she in a crate with a cone on her head like you would for a dog at home? Yeah, she got her socks pulled up. I think they pulled down one sock on that front leg, maybe 2 socks, but yeah, they're not like dories. But so, you know, when you have a dog at home that gets spayed or neutered or goes through any surgery, it is highly and heavily recommended to put a cone on them for, 10 to 14 days. And the reason that we don't do that here at the sanctuary is because, as you can imagine, working with wild type animals or animals that maybe are not super socialized, super comfortable around people, have high stress, suffer from, neophobia, being in new situations, etc. If we were to try to put a cone on these animals and put them into a cage or even into geriatric, it may cause more stress, which may cause more harm, where they start trying to escape, they start trying to get the cone off. And believe me, many times we have seen cones come off when we've had to put them on for non-spays and neuters, but other serious surgeries. So oftentimes it is at our vet's recommendation to be better to just let them go back into their enclosure where they have lots of space, they have lots of peace, they have their companion. And as long as we don't see them doing anything they shouldn't be, as far as messing with the incision site, it is typically considered to be better for their chances of recovery to not put them into an unfamiliar situation. So at this point, at Wild Spirit, in my almost 6 years of being here, we have done probably close to 100 different surgeries that normally would require a cone, and we've never put a cone on, any spay or neuter, and we've never had a problem. Knock on wood. But it just seems to work really well for us. And I know people get an aneurysm when I say that sometimes, but I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, how these guys are different from, dogs in some ways. And sometimes you have to cater to their care in a way that's a little bit different and a little bit customized in order to meet their needs. And of course, if we ever had an animal that was starting to have problems with a cone or an incision without a cone, we would certainly change up the care. But it's just not happened yet, and we're very grateful for that. Hi, Joan. Hi, Eshi. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Yeah, I was going to say one of the foxes was just out and then it heard me talk and it had to go run away.
They just feel a full basket down in there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can see the handle sticking out. They tried to get it down there. Yeah, that's funny. All right, so we're going to go onto our front line where we've got mostly wolf dogs and yeah, I think all wolf dogs right now on the front line. But we do have some new faces on here. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be wrapping up our final spays and neuters of the year and doing some more enclosure rearrangements. So we're going to get even more new faces on the tour path for visiting members of the public, but also for those of you that join us on a live stream. So it's very exciting. Some of them, you know, we're going to see how they do. And if they hate it, we'll move them back. But this is a great time of the year to do it as we are doing our annual vet care. That means a lot of the animals have to be caught up or sedated already for care. And so that creates a great opportunity for us to play musical wolf dogs and move them around to new enclosures. Hi, buddy. You gotta wait your turn. Hi, big boy. So here we've got our most super senior at the sanctuary. This is Denahi. And then Tippy Tap Toes, his companion. Oh my God, act your age, boy. That's not safe. Are we gonna like, do you want me to get that for you? Yeah, are we shifting him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you gotta wait your turn.
Bro, you gotta go that way. Look up dog.
Big dog.
Come on, Naha. You know how, buddy. All right, so anytime you see us shifting animals into a separate space, it's usually because they do not share with their companions. And so Denahi and Tippy, neither one of them wants to share, but Denahi's a lot bigger than Tippy and Tippy's a lot younger than Denahi. So not a fair match if they get into a fight over a resource. So we will always shift animals when we can to make sure that they both have access without competition. We do this for food. We do it for, high value resources. But of course, we don't need to do this for every single enrichment item. Some things are not considered high value, and so we can just throw them in, and they don't feel the need to compete with each other for them. But other items like this is fun. It's unusual. It's not something they get very often. So we're gonna, be safe about it and make sure there's no competition. Minus Antoine over here, who's jealous that he's being made to wait. So Tippy Tap Toes here is another Indigo Mountain animal. She has, she's not been DNA tested with Embark. She did have a UC Davis test done back in the day that said there is some wolf in there, and if any, it's probably less than 5%. But we do plan to do an Embark on her at some point just to get a full assessment, because again, that will help us if we decide we want to adopt her out. It'll help us know whether there's laws we need to be considering. She is Blizzard's mother, so the really shy white Pyrenees looking guy that you guys saw just a minute ago. This is his mom. And then Denahi over here is a mid-content wolf dog, so I want to say he's about 53% gray wolf. And then he's got German Shepherd, Alaskan Malamute, and Siberian Husky, which are the three most common breeds of dog that are used to make wolf dogs. And he is, I believe, 15 years old, so definitely our oldest animal on property right now. He's one of our largest kiddos. You'll notice that he and Tippy are in kind of a geriatric-friendly enclosure. There's not a lot of obstacles, hills, inclines, declines, things he can trip over. He's even got a cute little ramp that goes into his shelter. They've got lots of straw still in there since we are getting below freezing at night. But Denahi came to us in 2021 with his mate, Alu, who has now passed away, and their daughter, Yue, who is still with us. These guys were originally rescued by a family who was wanting to start their own wolf dog sanctuary. Unfortunately, though, the husband and wife decided to separate, and the person that was left with the house didn't want to keep the wolf dogs. So we were asked to take the whole family, which we did. We let them know right up front, like, hey, we're going to try to keep them together as long as they want to be, but odds are that we will have to separate mother and daughter, and therefore, mother from the parents at some point, just because it's pretty common for wolf dogs to have same-sex aggression, especially among females. And they were totally fine with that. It was important to them that we saved all of their animals. And it wasn't long after we got them here that their daughter decided she was ready to move out, and thankfully they told us in a really clear and non-confrontational way, so we were able to separate them. And it just so happened that when we moved Yue to a temporary space, we had a new rescue named Kirito that was living next door while he received some heartworm treatment. And she decided that that was her new boyfriend. And she lived very happily with Kirito for a number of years before he passed away from cancer. And after he passed, we did a little play date reunion with her dad, Denahi, here, which was so precious. And then we introduced her to someone new that looks pretty similar to Denahi, and she was very happy with that. So she now lives with Bowser. They're a really cute couple. They both look really similar. Very good looking pair of mid-contents. But yeah, Denahi, after he lost Alu, he made it really clear he wanted to live with Tippy. I was actually taking her for a walk one day to introduce her to some of our new single males, and she didn't really care about any of them, but Denahi started crying for her and just whimpering and whimpering and whimpering, and so I said, all right, we got to try to introduce him to Tippy because he's making it very clear who he would like to spend the rest of his days with. And they've been a really good match, minus wanting to compete for resources sometimes. Look at that tail. Look at that tail going tippy tap toes. You're so cute. You're so cute. Do you need a couch and a fireplace? I think you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah, we call her tippy tap toes because she'd be tippy tapping her toes. Yeah. So cute.
Did you like your basket?
Well, we can go throw a basket in Antoine's shift pen for him, and then we'll separate him and Thistle because he also doesn't like to share. Do you, Antoine? No. You can't take advantage of Thistle like that. She's shy. Come here. No, he's too distracted. Yeah, we'll go throw this into his shift pen. Pardon my phone looking at a bunch of stuff while I use my hands for more important things. All right. So Antoine's got a nice fancy little guillotine shift pen, so we can just pull the lever, Kronk. There, right there. Pull it. Oh yeah, you might have to unclip it though. Yeah. And don't pull too hard up because it gets stuck, and then you can try to let it down. Oh yeah, you might have to jostle it. You gotta like jerk it. Nope. Well, go throw Thistle hers real quick, and I'll try to keep Antoine distracted here. We're having technical difficulties here, people. Yeah, what's in there, buddy? You getting an egg? Yum. So Antoine here's another mid-content wolf dog. He has the same breeds as Denahi, so Shepherd, Husky, and Malamute, and he is roughly 56% gray wolf. So even though they have a roughly similar breakdown of their different breeds, they don't look anything alike. I think there's a wide diversity in the looks of wolf dogs, not just because Antoine's black and Denahi's, brownish red, but just structurally they look different, and you just get such a wide variety of appearances, and I think it's really cool. And of course you get that with other dog breeds as well, but I don't know, it's just really interesting. My nerd brain enjoys that part of kind of knowing the DNA breakdowns of all of our animals and looking at, oh my God, how does this animal at 75% look so wolfy and this one looks so doggy? And it's really cool with this many animals. We have a large sample size on stuff like that. So all of our little science nerds on our team can really kind of have interesting conversations and thoughts about all of the different things we get to learn just with having so many animals here. Antoine came to Wild Spirit a few years ago for alleged aggression and unpredictability. Fortunately, we have not seen any of that from him. And sometimes that's just because of a change of environment and animals just, operating differently in different spaces or with different people. So in any event, we're very grateful. He's actually one of our sweetest animals. He's a great walker. He enjoys humans. He likes to meet people of all ages, all types, all sizes. And then his companion Thistle is a low-content wolf dog who, she was actually part of a sled dog team in Alaska, and her owner did not know she had a wolf dog. She wasn't trying to get a wolf dog. she just got an animal to add to her team. And when Thistle, got to be a few years old, she decided to DNA test her for fun. And when her DNA test came back with gray wolf, wolf dogs are completely illegal in the state of Alaska. 1% and above is illegal. So she had to basically self-report that she had a wolf dog. And because she was honest about it, and we agreed to take her when we had an open enclosure, the state law enforcement officials that she was working with said, we'll give you as much time as you need for Wild Spirit to empty out an enclosure, and then you can bring her there. And she actually did. She flew her all the way from Alaska to New Mexico and came out to see Wild Spirit, make sure it was a good place, and that Thistle would be happy here. She is an absolutely lovely girl. She, looks more doggy than wolfy, but she's got some absolute pancake feet on her, which I think probably made her an exceptional sled dog and musher. She's definitely more of a dog's dog than a human's dog. So even though she did live with an owner and had a family and stuff, she has not bonded to anybody here on a physical level. She might come up and give us a sniff every now and then, but she's not letting people full on pet her or anything like that. All right, we'll see if we can actually get this closed for Mr. Twan now, but he's gonna go probably steal Thistles. All right, put some tape where the guillotine cage gets stuck, or right before it gets stuck. All right, we'll try that, and thank you, because we definitely have been having some troubles with that for a while, and I don't think we've tried WD-40 or anything, but we can try taping it. Look at Thistle, so cute, so perfect. Okay, we're gonna go to Balto and Artemis next, my daughter, my child.
Big boy Balto.
Yeah, Balto, what you doing, boy? What you doing, Balto? What you doing, big boy? Oh my goodness. Oh, come here. Give me that butt. Give me that butt. So Balto is one of our biggest animals. He's not the biggest, but he's one of them. He is a mid-content in the, I want to say, 60 to 70% range. And then his companion Artemis is a high content. She's 86% gray wolf and much smaller than him. We will maybe get to see her. She's all the way at the back right now, and she gets a little shy around crowds, and then the wind, of course, isn't helping either. But Balto's ready. He's doing a nice big sit. But you got to take it away. You got to take it, though. Take it away. You can't come in here and steal Artemis. I see you looking at it. Well, he's figured out a new plan this time. Usually he just waits for us to go put Artemis's down and then he steals it. But I think he realized that if he just blocks the door, we're not going in there. So, yeah, we might just go throw her basket from the outside or something so that she can actually get it. He might still steal it, but that's okay. Sometimes it's survival of the fittest around these parts. Hi, Mom! Gosh, everyone must have nothing going on this Friday, because there's a lot of familiar faces on this live stream that I don't normally see. You're so handsome, buddy. And look at that big old foot. Look at those feet. Look at those well-knuckled toes, those long claws. These are some wonderful wolf phenotypes. You're cute. Yeah, you like that egg? Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, I'll leave Paul to Balto. I'm going to go see if my child got her basket. So Balto came to us from another sanctuary in California a few years ago, and the reason that he went to that sanctuary is because he once belonged to a very abusive owner who did some serious damage to him. And one day Balto got sick of it and he fought back, and the owner then, oh, of course you are. The owner then took him to a shelter and demanded that they euthanize him, and the shelter said, no, we'll find him a sanctuary. So thankfully, he had a second chance at life, but he was very triggered in the presence of a lot of their caretakers, and so he kept, trying to cause harm to people. And they eventually called us after about a year and a half, I think, of trying to gain his trust. And they just said, we're not having any progress. He might do better with you guys. And so we took him on, and as you could see at the very beginning of this, he absolutely adores some of us. He's not a fan of everybody, and that's okay. You know, we don't need these animals to love all of us. There's plenty of animals here that absolutely despise me, and they do nothing but yell at me whenever I'm around. It's really fun when I'm giving tours. But, you know, he likes enough people here and trusts enough people here to have a really high quality of life and a lot of friends and a lot of great care. And then Artemis here actually came to us directly from her breeder. She was basically not able to sell her as a puppy due to an unknown medical condition. Just thought that it would not be, you know, right to sell this animal to somebody without knowing what was going on. And so she asked if we would take her on as a donation. And we said yes. We would figure out what the medical condition was. We would take care of it. And it would also create a really unique opportunity for our team to learn how to take care of and hand raise a young high content wolf dog compared to like a regular dog. So Artemis here came to us when she was about 5 weeks old. And so from that age, they can't just go right outside. They have to, you know, have vaccines to be protected against things like parvo and rabies. And, you know, those take a long time to get finished. But on top of that, she had this mysterious medical condition that we had to figure out what it was and treat it. So when she first came here, she was put on quarantine in a building, and we had an Artemis section of the building and then a people section of the building. And we would basically spend, you know, 24/7 with at least one person in there with her. But because she was being quarantined, we couldn't even, as a baby, couldn't even pet her soft little baby fur with our bare hands. We had to wear gloves and coveralls and, you know, booties and all this stuff so that if she had something contagious, we didn't pass it on to ourselves or our other rescues. So it was a lot of extra labor on top of an already laborious task, but it was a really great learning opportunity for the caretakers at the time. And I was so fortunate to be among them. And really, Artemis just turned 4 years old a couple of weeks ago, and she still thinks of me as her, you know, mom. And of course I am still her mom, but she still acts like she's a little tiny baby when in fact she's a full grown woman now. She still gets very submissive towards me, and she'll get low to the ground and, you know, like tuck that tail a little bit, wag it low. She'll put her ears back, just very, very big baby body language like she would do to an adult, you know, wolf or wolf dog. And it's very special. You know, that says a lot to me about the nature of her trust in me and our relationship. And it's just one of the most special things you'll ever get to do if you work with these animals, is build bonds like that. Love you. All right, so you guys got the eggs? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go create a little Easter egg hunt in here. So Kiara is going to, we're not gonna put her basket in there, Paul. We're just gonna put her in there and then let her out to get her basket and Easter eggs. But we're gonna take Gunner's like way far back so he's got some privacy. All right, so we've got an elaborate plan for this enclosure. This is Kiara. She is one of our educational animals, so she gets to meet people on site and off site. She has traveled with me. Come on, Kiara. Come on, come in here. Come on, go through the gate. She's traveled with me to Arizona, to Denver, to Albuquerque and Santa Fe many times with myself and other team members to do outreach. She meets people on property all the time. She is a huge love of people, of food, of everything. So we're gonna go set up a little Easter egg hunt for her because she'll be fun, I think, to watch that. But first we're gonna also give her companion Gunner his basket. He is really shy. These guys are new to this enclosure. So we're gonna go set his way far back. You might get to catch a glimpse of him. But yeah, so if you wanna set up his basket like way back there, and then if you want to set her eggs somewhere like around the logs in Cave House, that'd be good. Oh, thank you, Joan. We really try. We're super fortunate to, you know, have a huge team of staff and interns and even a few volunteers every now and then that really help make everything we do here possible. And of course, our donors and our supporters, like, they're the reason we've been able to thrive and survive through 30 plus years of existence, especially through things like COVID and different economic, you know, hardships. We really do this because of the people like you guys that are here watching us right now that support small things like enrichment live streams or big things like our Unite the Packs campaign. We're just really, really fortunate and grateful, I think, to have the opportunity to do what we do for these animals, and you guys largely make that possible. But hearing that means a lot as well. We know we do good work, but It means everything that other people see it too. All right, we got to pay attention to where the eggs get hidden so we can see if Kiara is good at finding them.
Let's go by this big log, go behind.
Okay.
One between those two trees.
Okay. All right. And we'll put her basket in here too, and then we'll release the beast. Yeah. So Gunner's all the way back there. He is another Indigo Mountain animal. He's actually Artemis's older brother, or potentially half brother. The jury's out. That's another story for another time, but they look very similar. And then we also have one of Artemis's litter mates on the property as well. Her name is Josie. She's very shy, so she's on the back side of the property. We won't see her today, but they all look real similar. All right. So, hold this for me for a minute.
Yep.
Just film that for me.
For sure. Hello, stream.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't want to go out.
Yeah,
All right, Juliana, you're live streaming now.
Hey guys, I took over. Brittany's actually dead now. Miss Kiara, do you like your basket? It's all yours, girl.
Yeah, tell the kids about Kiara.
Well, Kiara is a sweetie pie. We call her sausage. And she just loves love. Anywhere you can touch her except for her feet. She's not a big fan of that. But other than that, she's great with kids, great with old people, great with, elderly people. Us, everyone. She just loves love. The only thing is she's kind of a big back, so she likes to resource guard from Gunner. And she will sometimes hide her food. But other than that, she's perfect. We love her.
One of our seniors.
She is one of our seniors. Her teeth are not the greatest at the moment, but hey, she will find a way to eat. It doesn't matter. She'll inhale that.
I don't know if I saw a raven just tried to steal one of the eggs over
Oh,
there.
really? Oh, no.
Oh, by that little tree.
The ravens will do that occasionally. They will try to steal the food, but sometimes they get got too. So the circle of life.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Juliana's good to do our next live stream.
We also use Kiara for our encounters. So if you guys ever want to do a tour here, she's a great gal to just be with.
That's great.
All right, Miss Kiara,
Go find your eggs.
go hunt.
I'm so sad she hasn't even eaten her own egg.
I
And
know.
we left you an Easter egg hunt.
Girl, it's blue. She said, I want the basket.
Yeah, she likes to destroy stuff, like Wolfie backpacks.
Oh.
Get
R.I.P. the wolf basket.
Maybe Gunner will find all the eggs. That'd be fun.
Hey, that would be really cool. Yeah, Kiara, you get it.
Yeah, that's a whole treat. Eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that egg. Please eat it.
And for once, I didn't put you on a diet, so you're welcome.
Yes! I love when they break an egg.
Yes.
Makes me happy.
The least fierce egg break I've ever seen, though.
Yeah, she seemed confused and startled.
You've had eggs before, don't lie to people.
Yes, wolves and ravens are a team in the wild. That is so true, Joan.
I can't believe she's not eating that giant cookie treat. Hi,
Yeah, I'm
Ariel.
really
She's such a
surprised.
This is our glutton.
girl. Hi, my love. I see you. I'm my guru.
I put so much work into those little treats, and you just want to eat the egg. Really? That's okay. She'll get it at some point.
Hi, Bob. Are you
Yeah, you got 3 more to find, too.
so cute? Boy. What a great first day for you. What a great time. Yeah, good.
There's a raven.
Glad to have you.
Oh, yeah. Yummy egg.
Kiara.
It's Kiara.
Those, you know how expensive eggs are now?
Yeah,
the
for
price of
real.
eggs, bro. Oh, I've been skipping out on my list.
She is saving the best for last. That's why she's just letting it sit there. Right, Miss Kiara?
All right, I forgot to say a thank you to Sue Rigel for donating for Balto, one of her sponsored rescues. Emily Miller and LaForelle Moffett donated for Artemis. Stephanie Marshall and Jennifer Phillips donated for Kiara Girl here. And then next door, we're going to be doing Aragorn and Beans. And we have Emil Francis and Brittany Green who donated to Aragorn. And then finally, we'll be doing Kiska, and Virginia Tape donated to Kiska as always. And I'm sure that her mother, Rochelle, also sent her lots and lots of love and goodies. And then we'll go over our tour path animals at the very end, or our off the tour path animals at the very end, because we've got a whole long list of others that you guys have donated for. So thank you again so much for making this possible, for all the donations. We're so eternally grateful you guys make these things possible for us and the rescues, and also for you. You want to take back over? You having fun?
Hey, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys, we're going to be moving on.
It's called Intern Takeover.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, Juliana's doing it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying my best here. I'm doing this for free. Well, I'm joking. This is all for... Help me! I'm being held hostage. All right. So we are going to Dahlia and Aragorn, aka Miss Beans, and Mr. Pretty Boy.
Pretty boy, Aragorn.
Aragorny.
My boy, my man.
There she goes, coming up to us.
Are there baskets down there already?
Yes. We prepped them.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Beans. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Ooh, so cute. Where's my boy at? He's hiding because there's a crowd.
Hi.
Hi, Aragorn. Love you.
All right. We're going to give them their baskets.
All right, these are the goods.
Wonderful. Would you like to take over so I can throw them over?
Oh, sure, yeah. All right, but then I'll give it back to you, right?
Yeah. Should I throw Dahlia's first?
Let's have two people throw. Wait. To where? Yeah, I know. You still could through the door if you feel like that's a spot. Here, I'll take one and you take one.
Okay.
Oh, you got my boy. Okay. So we'll just do a countdown, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. Aw, Kiska did not like that.
Oh, he got the toy.
So sorry, everybody. My live stream from before cut out, so I'm sure it'll take a minute for people to figure out what happened and sign back on. Thankfully, this is kind of par for the course. Happens almost every time, if not every time. But yeah, we got Kiska. Kiska stopped pestering Dahlia. She moved over here. Aragorn got a toy. You guys said he got something.
Yeah, he got a toy.
Yeah, so he got something. He's peeing on it right now.
Nice.
It is pretty common for Aragorn to get sort of the leftovers after Beans has had her share of things. Sometimes when we do things like pumpkins or watermelon, it's a little bit easier to get him to get his stuff, but he's just a little shy with groups around, and so normally he would actually be the one stealing food from her, but because we have a crowd of people, he's a little bit more off his game, but he's perfect. Look at him. See, he's catching the scraps. He knows what's up. So Beans here is almost a high content. She's about 83.5% gray wolf, and she actually came to us from the co-founder of another wolf sanctuary in Texas, who unfortunately had a change of life circumstances that forced her to relocate, and she ended up moving to an area where wolf dog ownership is illegal. And she had asked if they would give her an exception to keep all of her wolf dogs because she was a professional in this field. She had a clean history. She was trying to work with them, and they actually gave her an exception for 2 of her 3 wolf dogs because they were older and lower content. But unfortunately, Beans here was considered too high of content for them to give her that exception, which understandably, if you look at her content on paper, it is high, but if you meet her, she is like 100% golden retriever. So it's really sad that she was not given an exception. Her owner was more than well qualified to continue providing care for her, but obviously, when the law says no, you don't mess with that. It puts your animals' lives at risk. So she excuse me. So she asked us if we would take her in, and we did. And then around the same time, we were asked about taking in Aragorn. He also has a really, exceptional owner who was a legal owner, qualified, knew what he was doing, had other wolf dogs, had a long history with them. And when Aragorn was born, he was actually the pick of the litter that he wanted to keep as his own, along with his mom, his dad, and another animal who was to be his companion. Unfortunately, this gentleman had some medical concerns come up that made him realize that maybe that was not the right time to have this young animal in his care, and that things could be unpredictable, and that it might just be best to find him a different home. And so since we got the request for both of these guys around the same time, Aragorn was like on his first birthday is when he arrived to Wild Spirit, or close to that, and Dahlia was about 2. So we knew that they were going to be a great couple just due to their age similarities and content similarities. Not that that always matters, but it was just a nice convenience. And so we knew right away they were going to be partnered, and they did an exceptional job together, and they've been together ever since. They're great for our tour path, and we're just happy to have both of them in our care. And both their owners actually continue to provide care for them financially, which is actually pretty rare. That doesn't happen often when people surrender their animals. Not that it has to, but it's always very meaningful when it does, and just says a lot about the fact that not every owner situation is because people were awful people or all owners are horrible. That's just simply not true. Some people are wonderful people, and life just happens. And we think it's really important to talk about that in a really honest way, because that's just the reality of what we deal with. Hi. So this is Kiska. She is everyone's favorite. Yeah, she is definitely Rochelle's favorite. So Rochelle, here is your girl. Kiss, kiss, hugs, hugs. We are going to throw her little basket to her right now and keep it far away from the Dahlia fence line.
Basket down. You got everything that's important, so here you go.
So Kiska here came to us from the Adirondack Wildlife Rescue Center in upstate New York, along with her former companion ZB, who is unfortunately no longer with the sanctuary. These two had belonged to that facility for their entire lives, and Kiska was actually raised by ZB. She was a few years younger than him, and so when she came in as a puppy, they put her with him and an animal named Cree, and they kind of raised her as a little family. Cree had passed away before we took these guys on, and so Kiska and ZB came here. And unfortunately, as ZB got older, Kiska wanted to roughhouse too much for our comfort, so we separated them. And he made it to almost 18 years old, but we did unfortunately have to say goodbye to him. Maybe a couple months shy of that. I don't remember exactly his birthday, but age just caught up to him, and he still was able to pass with dignity and comfort, and that's what's really important to us, more than trying to get him to an older age or anything like that. It would have been cool for him to be 18, but we chose a really nice day to say his goodbyes. And because he was no longer living with Kiska, after he was gone, we brought him down here. We brought his body down here for her to see him so that she could say goodbye. These guys are really social animals, and they do mourn and they do grieve just like we do. And we don't necessarily always see a response from them, but we do think that it's important to give them an opportunity to say their goodbyes and to understand that an animal that they live with or did live with is no longer here, assuming the relationship is still positive, of course. Now, her relationship with ZB was still very good, and she recognized who we were bringing to her long before he got down to her, and she was crying and whimpering. And to us, that does say a lot about their ability to understand loss and to process it and to grieve. And they all do it differently. And it's just really important for us to have that opportunity for them. And it helps us feel a little bit better too, knowing that we've had full closure where we need it. She is she just does not like Dahlia and Aragorn very much. I couldn't see Dahlia there because it looked like a shadow. But yeah, she's more interested in them than she is in her enrichment basket, so that's okay. But I think, is Paul getting our special guest star?
Special guest.
Do we have a basket for her?
Going to get it
Okay.
right now, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, once the kids all start howling in the middle of the day for no reason, you can guess it's because someone's getting a walk. So Paul is gonna go grab a special guest. We're gonna bring her basket down, and she might be a little bit weird with this basket because she can be a little resource guardy and she's gonna be on leash, but hopefully with the relationship she has with Paul and I, it'll be just fine. But we are bringing her down so that her former owner can hopefully see her on the live stream. She's got another owner that often donates enrichment and, you know, comes to visit every few years to see her kiddo and see how she's doing. And she asks about her constantly. And the last few enrichments, we've tried to give her stuff after the live stream because she's off the tour path. We have no Wi-Fi back there. And unfortunately, every time she's either not wanted to interact or she's been too afraid of the group. So we're going to bring her down so she can have that experience, and hopefully her former mom can see her up close and personal and on the live, which we've never really done before. So hopefully she'll join us here and get to see her or watch back later. This will be Octavia for those of you that also know her. I don't know if everyone is still watching since I cut out before, but many of the folks that were logged on previously have met Octavia and became just as obsessed with her as you should because she's perfect. Octavia is one of our 95 plus gray wolves, just like Kiska here, just like Aragorn. So they are some of our wolfiest animals. And for those that don't know, 95+% is the highest that a DNA test will tell you. So there's currently no commercially available DNA test that will tell you 100% pure wolf or 100% pure coyote. So you'll get 95 plus, and sometimes it'll say with trace dog breeds or without trace dog breeds. But even if you get 95 plus without trace dog breeds, it does not mean that that is a pure wolf. So the reason that they don't say pure is because these animals, they're the same species, wolves and dogs, and they are genetically so similar that it would be very difficult to say with 100% certainty that an animal is pure. And if you said that and it caused an animal, for example, to be taken from its owner, euthanized, caused an owner to be charged with a crime of owning a pure wolf, which is, federally illegal unless you have special permits, that creates opportunities for lawsuits. And so DNA companies don't want lawsuits, so they're not going to say something that could get an animal killed or an owner in trouble or them eventually sued. So this is really a safety net to try to create as much accuracy as possible while still being ethical and reasonable. And that's part of science. All right, we got the goods.
That's her basket.
Wow, what is that, a lamb? That's
Yeah.
cute. That's kind of cute. Okay,
Right?
so we're going to set that down like roughly here, and then we're going to have you guys like just stand kind of over to the sides. You can still watch, but we just want no resource behaviors for her. All right, Paul, we're ready when you are. All right, so Octavia's she's exploring. It's been a minute since she had a walk. I might just bring her basket, actually. Paul just said she's scared, which I can see. Hi, love. Hi, TT. What do we have for you? This is for my girl. This is for my baby. Yeah, I know the wind is not helping, is it? Yeah, Dad. There you go, a treat. Say hi to your mom. So we do walk some of our animals here at the sanctuary, and sometimes we're lucky they come to us, they already know how to walk. Sometimes we have to teach them. Octavia came to us at 9 months old, and she was already very well walk trained, but she is a high contact wolf dog, and we do, as I mentioned previously, suffer from things like neophobia, which is a fear of new and uncomfortable and strange things. So even though she's comfortable, she is not necessarily comfortable right now with thing with Spring Baskets. So all of those things can be causing her an increased anxiety, and you can really see that right now. Paul's just letting her go where she wants to go, where she's comfortable, while still making sure she's safe. So of course we don't want her to go up to any animals that are going to cause, fights with her or be aggressive. But ultimately his goal is going to be to get her back home at her own pace and kind of just going with the flow of where she wants to lead him. When we walk these animals, we are not tugging them around to where we want them to go. We're not making them do stuff that that they don't want to do, plus or minus, you know, what's needed for safety, like I mentioned. But part of being able to build leash skills with them or maintain them is not ever making this into a negative experience, not making it scary, not making it forced. Of course, sometimes stressors do come into play, like they are right now with her, but Milnor! Sorry, I had to use my mom voice on some of my fur farm kids. They were getting excited about Octavia and starting to pick on each other. So when you deal with stressors like that, it's a huge part of what we do as a rescue, right? We get a lot of animals that they come to us because their owners can't handle them, or they're super high stress, super anxiety ridden, and we have to basically figure out how do we work around that and create trust and still give them enriching experiences, still work on building skills with them, like walking. Some animals, it's just not going to happen. Some animals, it's not going to happen until the right person comes along. We have a right person here for a lot of animals who's not on this live stream, but they've been able to walk animals that some people have not touched in decades, and decades plural's an exaggeration, but still, it's like sometimes they just pick the right person to trust and to bond with, and other times we get lucky and an animal's great at walking or can be taught really easily. But more often than not, we are dealing with animals that we have to put a lot of patience and a lot of consistency and a lot of trust into these exercises, and they need to guide us as much as we need to guide them. And we got to listen to what's comfortable and read that body language and, you know, work strategically with them, with certain people. And, you know, these are all hard parts of the job, but rewarding parts of the job. And there's so much more that goes into it that you guys don't often get to see or hear about. So it was kind of cool that even though Octavia wasn't super interested in her basket, you kind of got to witness that, you know, not every animal here is super easy, super handleable. They present different challenges at different times of the day, and that's all stuff we got to factor in. But that does conclude our live stream. I'm actually going to come in here and film these beautiful baskets while I read the rest of our thank yous really quickly. Can you hold that just
For sure.
on the baskets, if you will?
Yeah.
Okay, so our other donors for Cora Lee was Sue Rigel and Stephanie Marshall. Thank you guys so much. I know how much you love her. She's perfect. For Uni, we had Nick Pernsteiner. Gojira was Crystal Bryant and Jennifer Phillips. Ifria was Crystal Bryant and Jennifer Phillips. Cinder was Peter Pfeiffer and Beth Massey. Mika was Beth Massey. Motaki was Carol Geck. Severa was Carol Geck and Denise G. Wynn. Picasso was Brian Mercer for Freya's new boyfriend. Oh my God. So Brian has been a longtime supporter of many of our rescues, and most recently was sponsoring Fenris, who is Freya's brother who passed away, and her former partner. So it's just perfect, Brian, that you chose Picasso, and I love that you put that note in there. Dennis and Karen Bellalumini also did Picasso's enrichment. Brian Mercer sponsored Freya's enrichment as well, per usual. Dorian was sponsored by Emily Miller. Amron by Gary Wittenborn. Draco by Kevin Oles. Lincoln by Donna Estwan and Autumn Brooks. Octavia, who you guys just saw, was sponsored twice by Donna, her former mom. And Honey was George Ellen Burnett. Crow was George Ellen Burnett and William Jansky. Zion was Norm and Lisa Cedillo for their favorite couple, Zion and Larka. Larka was also sponsored by Carol Geck in addition. Mystique was sponsored by Joan M. Laurie. Yuma by Melinda Russell. Ifria by Cynthia Nolan. Emery by Joanna Dotrick, who said, "Happy springtime, looking forward to seeing you again in July. Oh my God, can't wait." And then Rune, so funny, Joanna. Rune was also sponsored by Joanna. Rune looks a lot like one of Joanna's former sponsored rescues, Bear, but she also loves that Rune hates me. So I think it's a little funny, silly joke. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this live stream. I'm so sorry about the cutout. I'm so sorry about the wind. You guys got to see Joanna do a little takeover. That was cool. But thank you guys again for making this all possible. We could not do this work without you. It's always so nice to spend a Friday morning with all of you. And for me, it was really great to see so many of my loved ones in one place. So thanks to all of you guys that tuned in. And until next time, have a great Friday.